What are you laughing about?
About you?
For what?
Getting the wrong truck?
Well, I'm old. I get confused. I can't tell maroon from blue.
Yeah, it was a big, same as that one in this car.
Yeah, it looks the same.
Looks the same. Yeah, I got 4 tires.
Oh, 4 tires, that's right.
Wheel.
Yeah. Oh, that sawdust is bad for Victor's asthma. So he's cutting wood. And he's cutting a lot of it. This is an interesting deal. The boys are out chainsawing, and they both grabbed those 242s and left these new 550s sitting here in the truck. What does that tell you? And that's what I'm using too, but I ran out of gas because I had a extra long road that went way down in the canyon over there. I didn't make it all the way out. The boys are finishing up the other half. And we got this nasty chainsaw job done. So we're going to cut some wood, count some trees, maybe get out of here about 2 o'clock. It's Sunday, so have a little bit of a day off. I was just thinking, coming up that road, remember a time when I flew to California to help another grafter, other guy I worked for, taught me the business, and I worked for him off and on. If I didn't have something going here in the early winter, I could go down there and help him a little bit. And I had my suitcase packed and went to close it, and I took my chainsaw shaft out and put something else in. Well, I got down there and got started. First job of the season, and I was really not seasoned, not broke in, and tired, I guess, and I let the saw down a little too quick and sawed into my leg. Victor had to take me to the hospital, and every time he'd look over, he'd almost pass out. I said, Victor, just drive. I'll hold this thing together so I don't bleed to death. You just drive. Because chainsaw takes a pretty wide swath when it's cutting meat. So a whole bunch of stitches later, I was back to work. But I remember calling and talking to my son that night, I think, and telling him about my little incident. He was, I don't know, 12, 14 years old. First thing he asked me was, were you wearing protective clothing? Well, yeah, I never left my chaps at home after that. We wore them religiously ever since then, because it can happen. But it don't take very long to do a whole lot of damage when you're chainsawing on your leg. But I was just thinking about back in those times. It was in the 80s. It was hardest thing in the world for me to leave those little guys. Early 90s. Oh, I just hated to go, but I had to weigh out. You know, when they were real young, 6, 8 years old, and I had to weigh out. Was I better, better off to take maybe a low-paying job and be home all the time, or go on the road for that 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and be a real good provider for them, you know. And I felt like I just had to do that. And you know, growing up, they never had everything they wanted, but they had everything they needed. And so I owe a lot to this grafting thing. It's been a good career for me, and a part of me just loves it. And you know, I've been doing it as a business since 1981. I've been grafting since '74, but part of me still loves coming out here on a sunny day with this old chainsaw. And another part of me is getting tired. But I'm grateful that I can still do it. I can't do it like these young guys, but I can still do it. So I like to pretend I can do it like them, but I can't do it all day long the way they do, or at least I don't want to. I wouldn't get much done. I'd be dragging at the end of the day. So grateful I am. But anyway, when those kids were little, when they were real little like that, when I was gone, I wrote them a letter every day. Every day I was gone, I wrote both of them a letter. And my ex was real good about it too, because sometimes they'd double up in the mail. They'd get 2 letters, and she'd save one for the day that one didn't come and give it to them. So that was a good deal. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to go cut up some wood and get up here tomorrow and get a bunch of this knocked out and probably finish it early Tuesday. This will soon all be a memory. Thank goodness. Well, I'm going to join the fellas. We're going to have a little woodcut party. Since it's Sunday, we're going to have a little party, a little woodcutting party. Camera on my best side here. Se va a echar pelos al pinche loncho. camera closed?
Okay. Mira. Bueno, mira, está bien oscuro. Unos dedos de camello.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you. Thanks. Put that on Facebook.
Instagram.
I had a message on my phone yesterday. A guy in a grower in Ephrata said he wanted to talk to me about grafting opportunities, some grafting opportunities. I was thinking, opportunities for who? For you or for me? Because I don't know if I want any more grafting opportunities. Well, I was about halfway to Wenatchee and I got a phone call and we decided we'd go out to eat, and I told them, guys, call me when you get to the restaurant, and I was going to go get some chainsaw gas. And I got about halfway back to town and got a call, and Victor said the battery was dead on the work truck. And so I turned around and came back. He'd already called the ranch foreman, and foreman was sending somebody with the jumper cables, but while he was waiting for the cables, old Victor, you know, he's always thinking efficiency. So he said, well, while I'm waiting for this guy, why don't you take these gentlemen over to that other block and count those trees? So I've got these gentlemen over here, Victor and Jorge and myself. I don't know if I count as a gentleman, but I'm going to count too. So we're going to get out here and count these trees, because one thing we've learned over the years is these farmers, they never know how many trees they have. They know pretty close to how many acres maybe, and they're doing a percentage of it or whatever. But we always count the trees, because that's our bottom line, and we want to be accurate on that. So I mean, it's only fair to the grower and me that we count them and get it right. So we got these little tally counters that we use, and it goes pretty fast. We'll walk these rows, and 3 of us won't take long, so we'll get her done. Well, a guy came and gave Victor a jump, and that's all it was. They left those doors open all morning, all day, and I guess it ran the battery down. You wouldn't think it would, but apparently it did. So we're on our way to the restaurant. I just told them be sure and keep their doors closed on the way down there. so they don't have a dead battery. All right, I'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks for coming along. Appreciate you.